NHTSA has come up with some different in-cap suggestions. What is that, and what are the changes?
Well, we're up in the game for the 5-star rating system on cars, and starting to score things like crash avoidance technologies, and not just crash avoidance technologies that prevent a car from colliding with another car, but even prevent a car from colliding with a pedestrian. We think these types of technologies ought to be scored on the 5-star rating system, because it's gotten pretty easy for the auto industry to get 4 or 5 stars. And so, this happens periodically. Every once in a while, we ratchet up the test, and this is the next iteration of how we're going to do that.
Secretary, you mentioned legislation having to be faster with it, essentially. I talked to a lot of automakers this week that have said at the state-by-state level things are so different, so it's hard in developing this technology.
Yes.
Can it be done by the state-by-state level, or do you need the federal?
Well, I think it depends on what you're talking about, but I think on the case of the autonomous cars, there's a lot the federal government can do in terms of laying out safety standards for them, producing guidance for model legislation at the state level, and it may happen at some point that there's a desire to have a national approach to these things, but I think we're a little ways away from that point. I think right now we've got to develop a mechanism to evaluate this technology as it comes to us, and to do it as rapidly as we can, so that we're not compromising safety, and doing our best to give guidance to the state and local governments on what types of legislation, what types of approaches they might take to ensure good harmony between states.
So no plans yet for a blanket national regulation regarding?
No, but I wouldn't say that's completely out of the question. But I just think that at this point we have some more fundamental issues to deal with, and we need to deal with those. Yeah.
Last question.
What's happening with Volkswagen?
Well, I have to let the Justice Department and the EPA, which are the lead agencies on the lawsuit that's been filed, talk to that, and otherwise I can't comment on it.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.